Company, the landslide. We got an Oasis comeback, Frank. An Oasis reunion. Can you believe it?
It's about damn time.
Yeah, I am skeptical.
Skeptical?
Yeah. Stay tuned.
All right.
Stay tuned for the full opinion. Biggest story of the day today, the Telegram CEO who was arrested over the weekend, and now his companion is missing.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah. This gives me the same vibes as when Ghislaine Maxwell's assistant went missing.
I'm going to ask a dumb question.
Yes.
What's Telegram?
Good. We'll cover all of that and more. We'll tell you why this is important. Hey, don't feel bad. You are like probably 90% of the people out there because it's a bigger thing in Europe, but it's still a pretty big thing.
I know what a Telegram is.
Yeah. Well, it's good. We'll cover all of it. I love it.
Okay.
RFK Jr. gives Trump a boost in the latest polls. We lost the great Sid Vicious, not the singer.
No, the wrestler.
The wrestler. Very, very sad. We'll talk Oasis. We'll tell you about this Kentucky State Fair controversy, which made me chuckle. Lindsey Graham takes it in the face. And Pittsburgh Paulie, Frankie C. We got to get your opinion on Pittsburgh Paulie.
I will gladly share it when I know who that is.
Excellent. All that and more coming up on this episode. Today.
I don't know why I said baby. I said R.I.P. baby.
Did you?
Yeah, it's uncalled for.
He's a good-looking guy. Maybe you got some repressed feelings that you got to deal with.
All right.
We'll see. We'll get it out. We'll get you on the couch. We'll get you looking up, and we'll get it all out today. It's going to be a healing episode.
Sounds like a podcast.
Sounds like a podcast.
All right, Telegram.
Hit the thing again? Should I do the...
Start again.
Okay.
So, Telegram.
Every time somebody says that's a podcast, we got a stupid thing.
It's like Pee Wee Herman's word of the day. How great was that?
Oh, it was classic. It was classic. He's another guy who's dead. There's too many dead people.
They're all going.
Getting old stinks.
You wake you go to Twitter every day going, please, nobody I really like.
Anytime anybody over 60 starts trending, I get nervous right away.
Yeah, it's immediate. You go, oh shit, what happened? All right.
And then I can't calm down until I see the Denzel Washington meme where it's like,
that's a great one. That is the meme.
Yeah.
That signifies that someone didn't die.
Signifies good news, everybody. They're still alive.
Right. I don't even know what movie that's from. Is it Training Day or I don't know.
It might be Training Day. I'm not sure. That's a good point. I don't know what movie it's from. I've seen the meme more than I've seen the movie. I've seen the meme 1,000 times.
If anybody knows where that meme is from of Denzel.
Classic meme.
Tell us what movie that's from.
If we were smart, we would start. Maybe I shouldn't say this.
Uh-oh.
Should we? Let's whisper it so nobody hears.
Okay.
Should we start a meme hall of fame? Like a legitimate meme hall of fame?
I mean, it would exist on the internet, right? It wouldn't be like a hall of fame.
I guess, but you could just print out some of these. You could copy and paste and print a picture and hang it up.
$2.99 frame.
Maybe.
Hang it on a wall somewhere.
Hang it on a wall. Make it a thing. Who wouldn't want to
visit? The MoMA, it'd be the MIMA.
See? I'm glad we're throwing ideas around in the boardroom already.
All right.
What do you think? The Meme Hall of Fame. An official, I'm telling like official, like as snobby and assholey as the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is. Like
we'll have dedications. We'll have different wings.
Only like 5 a year go in.
And I'll say the same thing I said when they were talking about that. What was it? Was it the I think the Twitter Hall of Fame or the Trump tweets or something? You exit through the gift shop.
A meme gift shop. Who's not gonna be a part of that?
Gift shop.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
That might be something.
That's something.
Maybe it has to be a meme for like 20 years before it can get inducted.
That's too long. You got no.
Five?
I don't think there have been memes for 20 years yet.
Oh, that's a good point. We have to look, maybe we'll, all right, maybe we'll start with 10. I think we've had
Yeah.
memes for 10 years.
Let's see,
2014
2014.
memes?
That
Yeah,
sounds right.
I would say.
I'd say we go 5. I think you got to be a meme for 5 years. Let's not go crazy.
Okay, 5 now, but we have to expand it because
In the future, I think it's a right now is the moment where we have to build up. We have to shore up our numbers here. We have to
yeah.
build a good enough Hall of Fame so it's not like 3 things.
You have like still picture memes, you have the GIF memes,
Right.
video memes maybe.
You have memes with like some of them have words underneath, some of them don't.
Mm.
You have memes from these are your movie memes, these are your TV show memes, these are your this made this person famous for 10 minutes meme.
I guess so.
Animal memes, you know,
See,
cats and
is Haktua a meme? I guess she was made
No.
into a meme though.
Yeah. But that's not how she got recognition.
Right.
She got recognition from a video.
But I bet you there's a still meme of her.
I'm sure there is. I mean,
Mm.
what qualify? Thank you, Lindarella, for suggesting Grumpy Cat. That's where I got the animal thing from. But what qualifies as a meme? Does it just? It has to be viral. It has to be popular enough to that when you go in, people recognize it. Maybe you have the meme and some things that the meme could be attached to. You know, like not just the meme, but you have someone saying something and then the reaction is a meme. You know, like you have a couple of examples of usage of the meme.
Like as part of the nominee process.
Sure. But you have like if you have a display, you have the meme, and then underneath it's like, you know, I have to go to work today, and then Grumpy Cat meme. You know, something just an example of where the meme could be used.
Maybe that's what the hall is. It's not like there is a bust. Let's say there's a bust of the meme. And then next to it, we have like how they have like the baseball players' uniforms. We just have a TV and it's just scrolling of the best uses of that particular meme.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
I was thinking just a couple of examples, but sure, if you want scrolling, we could modernize it. I could see I could see you know the guy that's this? That guy? That meme? I could see a bust of that guy. That'd be
right. Like, wouldn't that be great?
That'd be great. That'd be a good one.
The guy behind the tree that's going like this. Where is that from? Why is he doing that?
Kermit sipping tea.
Oh, we'd have a lot. This is a lot of work. I'm actually okay with somebody stealing this idea. This is too much work.
We're definitely not going to do that.
Sounds like 15 years before anybody makes any sort of money off of this stupid idea.
Yeah. I mean, how are you going to make money off it? What are people going to visit this thing? No. What are you going to do?
If you put it in New York City, people will visit it. People will.
Yes.
They go to the ice cream museum. Did you see the story about the ice cream museum or the pizza museum?
No.
There's a story. I forget which one it was. I think it was ice cream. This guy's just like, my big claim to fame was I made the ice cream museum. And he goes, it was nothing. I had an empty space. I just put out a press release that said I'm creating an ice cream museum. And the Today Show and like 6 other media outlets contacted me for a tour. He's like, so then I was like, I got to build the fucking.
Now I got to build this thing.
He just built it. And it was just stupid. It was, I think it was the pizza. I don't know what it was. There was like a pizza slide for kids. It was the dumbest. Come on. Like, there is no business.
Did he make
here.
any money here? Like,
I think he did.
I could picture sinking money into it and then people. I guess you have to charge people to get in. What, like $10 a head or something?
Yeah.
But I feel like to make it worth anything, he's got to sink thousands into it to make it like worthwhile.
Yeah. Somebody look this up. I want to say 200,000. Like he lost 200 grand on it or something.
That's about right. That's terrible.
Yeah, but they were like there on day one, and he's like, suddenly I'm like showing Hoda how to fucking make a pizza or something.
I had a Google ice cream and like the history of ice cream or whatever the hell.
It was literally put together on a shoestring. Like
it's a pizza place where you make your own pie.
Yeah. So anyway, all right, meme Hall of Fame. We'll put it on the list of things to do that we'll never get to.
Perfect.
Telegram CEO arrested And now the person that was traveling around with him is now missing, which is a little alarming anytime somebody goes missing. All right, so to break this down for you, explain this as simple as we can. Telegram is a messaging app. It's super popular in Europe. It's kind of one of those things that just took off in Europe more so than here.
It's like WhatsApp.
It's kind of like WhatsApp, like Discord, like it's a encrypted peer-to-peer messaging system. So people really love it because it affords you the privacy of, freedom of speech. You can message people without having to worry about anything, people stealing your information, your conversation, all that kind of stuff. It affords you the privacy that normal text messaging does not. If we learned anything in the last couple of weeks here or years, anytime you text message, that can be subpoenaed, and those records can be brought up in court. I feel like we just did a big story where that was the case, where they got the text messages and they were able to prove. The Matthew from Friends,
Perry.
Matthew Perry. They found the doctor's stuff and they were able to get all those text messages really quickly. So
Right.
People like the Telegram because it affords them the privacy. The problem is whenever you see privacy and encryption, the terrorist networks tend to pick up on that and go, "Oh, this is a great way for us to plot out our terror plans," and they've been using it for those kinds of things. So it really becomes this struggle of where's your privacy, and how much of that is needed versus the threats that can come about. And he's basically taken on a huge bit of controversy over this because he's a Russian-born, I think he's a billionaire now. But anyway, he's a Russian-born entrepreneur. And I don't know if you know this, but we barely trust the American-born entrepreneurs, let alone the ones from other countries with dictatorships that protect their own citizens, that won't extradite anybody, and blah, 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 and so on and so forth. By the way, he was booted out of Russia. He's been living in, I forget where he's living, but I think he's in, I don't remember where he's been living.
He's in custody now.
Well, now he's in custody. Yeah, he was in France, and they arrested him in France basically over this. But it's weird. They didn't really announce at first what the charges were. In fact, I don't even know if there has still been a formal announcement on it. We just know
So
that
we don't know why he's arrested?
We just know that he was detained on Saturday night outside of Paris. He was placed in custody for alleged offenses related to the messaging app. He's a 39-year-old Russian billionaire who's being accused of failing to mitigate the misuse of his platform for criminal activity.
Oh.
Kind of a weird thing to arrest somebody. Oh, because think about it. Where's the crime? If you and I are discussing committing a crime, let's take terrorism out of it for a second. We're just discussing committing a crime together. Are we?
That's like saying YouTube is held responsible, or Facebook.
Exactly. Right. Who's responsible? Because if I message you on Facebook, or if we talk about it on this show, are we prosecutable? Is the internet company prosecutable? Because I will say this, I forget what the name of it is, but there is a clause right now in some law, one of the acts passed recently in the last 15, 20 years, whatever it was, that basically abdicates any responsibility by these social media networks. So if if you and I plan to do something, or we say some horrible shit on here, we're responsible. Right. We're held responsible for our actions, not the social media networks.
So whose law is this guy breaking? Which country? Is it Russia's
well, that's the
law?
other thing.
France's law?
Exactly. You're talking about an international company.
Right.
Laws in every country, they're all different. All we know is that the authorities in France arrested this guy. Macron said it was all on the up and up. Like, take my word for it. And this guy has just been detained, and that's all we know.
Maybe he was part of the whatever was being discussed. Like he was involved somehow.
I don't know. Who's to know? Who can you trust?
To know? I don't know.
Who can you trust in this instance? The French government?
And if what you were saying before of Yeah, they could subpoena text messages. Can they subpoena this? The
Well,
conversation on this app?
so what's interesting about this, because it's encrypted, they don't even know what's going on. So when you
So
send a
then
mess, when you send an
how
encrypted message, it knows who you're sending it to, and the transfer of the message is encrypted. So nobody knows what the message actually says until it gets to its destination, and then it's interpreted. I don't know how that works. Don't ask me how that works.
so then how would authorities have I guess they were some kind of sting, and
They
maybe
wouldn't.
it was someone who got the message in some way. Maybe they had like an inside man or something.
I don't know, but they have long, like a lot of people have long lobbied for him to put some pieces into place. In fact, he did an interview where he said, "Hey, if terrorists are," he didn't say this. He was asked the question, "Your service is used for criminal activity. How does that make you feel?" And he was basically like, "The right to privacy exceeds whatever criminal activity is going to go on this app." That was it. He was so hell bent on freedom of speech that he was like, "We have to sacrifice some of our safety for freedom of speech."
Hmm.
Which, if you ask our forefathers, they said the same thing.
Yeah.
We're going to have to go at war for the right to do and say and be, and not be
Right.
taxed for
Exactly.
shit. It's kind of the
So
same thing.
yeah. So I'm wondering what law he broke. What did he? How involved was he in whatever whatever brought this arrest to light, and why is his partner missing now?
Oh, it's a travel companion. Because I started to say, and let me finish before I get into the companion. They've lobbied him to do something about this for the longest time, and I think they recently did, but it wasn't enough to satisfy everybody who was crying out for this need. Because when you think about it, if you're an international terrorist organization or crime syndicate, and you got to communicate between America, Russia, the Middle East, Tanzania, Norway, like if you're in all these different corners of the world, there's very limited means of communication, and even more so limited means of communication that are 100% private.
Okay.
And that's what the Telegram app has basically given to people, is this ability to just communicate freely.
Gotcha. So bottom line is the Telegram CEO was arrested. We're not 100% sure why, but he was arrested in France for some crime related to the Telegram app. Right? That's accurate so far.
That's kind of what everybody, yeah. And in France, well, Macron is he's the big cheese over there in France, right? Do they have a president or they have a prime minister? I don't forget. He's a president.
President.
He said that the arrest in France is part of an ongoing judicial investigation and that there was no political motive.
Okay, I gotcha.
So President Macron put a statement out on X basically saying that there's no political motive, which is always a little worrisome when a government says there's no political motive. Well, then what's the charge? Well, it's an ongoing investigation. Well, okay. And then which one is it? Because usually there's a charge involved with an arrest. It's not, hey, we think Frank did something wrong. Let's arrest him. Let's arrest him now.
Right. Well, maybe I'm sure they know. You can't, I don't know what the laws are like in other countries, but I'm sure you can't arrest someone without telling them why they're being arrested. But if it's part of a bigger investigation, and maybe they're hoping to pull in some other people, maybe they can't go public with what's going on with the whole operation. Maybe it's a bigger operation than just this one guy.
Maybe. I mean, I think some of it has to do with there are investigations ongoing into crime right. syndicates, terrorist organizations, so on and so forth. And when they reach out to Telegram when authorities reach out to Telegram for information and to help, and they don't help, are you impeding an investigation? Are you aiding and abetting? Like, where does that line begin and end?
You probably have to help as much as you can without violating whatever laws are in place and whatever um, without violating people's rights and things like that.
This is a tough conversation because in the United States of America, yes, we love our safety, but we also do love our freedom of speech and right to privacy.
Right.
If you just can't tape somebody without.
Yeah. Well, that depends on the state you're in.
Yeah, but I guess, don't you have to get a judge to sign off on that? If you're gonna,
I have no idea. I think that there's like a one-party thing, a two-party thing.
If you're a person, but if you're the authorities and you want to tape
that I don't
people,
know, yeah.
you got to go get a warrant and you got to get a judge to sign off on that.
You can't just bug someone.
The FBI cannot just bug somebody because they feel like it. No, they got to have.
Oh, you got to have
cause.
Legit. Yeah, you got to be. You can't just bug people.
And they gotta, yeah, and they have to. And they got to get they got to get a warrant for it. So
right, that makes sense.
This is one of those moments where it's just our Constitution is put to an extreme. But again, in this case, this is France. They have a different.
Yeah, it's not our Constitution.
And I don't know if he's up for the same sort of deal. Is this a U.S., France, England?
Well, so from what you've been saying, I don't see the connection to U.S. Yet. Unless there's someone else involved, or unless whatever crimes took place in the U.S., who the hell knows? But everything you've said so far is Russian and France, but who knows where it's all connected and who else is involved.
Look at this bird with an eye. Wake up! It's all part of the erosion of free speech, brought to you by the globalists' agenda. You're a globalist, right, Frank? Is this on the agenda? Be honest. Don't lie.
I don't even know what a globalist is. Like, you like the globe, or you're for the what is it?
It's exactly what a globalist would say. See the deflection?
Oh, okay. That was good.
All right, listen, telegram me later and let me know.
Okay,
thanks. So now this guy Durov is his name, Pavel Durov, and he's been going around the whole world as billionaires tend to do. He's been traveling with a young lady named Julie Vavilova.
Probably Mulva.
Vavilova. She's 24 years old. She's a video game streamer. And now they describe her as a mystery blonde crypto coach who was traveling with Pavel. And now
mystery blonde. She's
they know
have her name and they know who the hell she is.
I don't know.
Mystery.
That's true. That's a good point. Anyway, Julie, 24, video game streamer, traveling with Pavel Durov, the Telegram CEO. Now she's gone. They do not know where she is. Her family cannot find her.
That's not good.
No, it's not good. And usually the thing with these streamers, they tend to be around all the time.
Yeah, they tend not to miss. I mean, if they're a dedicated streamer, they try not to miss a streaming session, whatever.
Yeah. They say that they've not been able to get in touch with her since the arrest, which is, going on 24, 48 hours, almost whatever's after 48 hours.
Right.
72. Thanks, buddy. And 70. They can't get in touch with her for 72 hours. Cut here for the clip. And they're starting to get really nervous.
Might not be 72. I don't know.
No, you're right. 68, right. 72.
Okay.
And people are starting to freak out.
Yeah, that's a problem. Can't get in touch with this person, and all kinds of crime or whatever that we don't know what level of crime is going on here. Is it violent crime this guy's involved in? Is it financial or whatever the deal is? Who knows?
Yeah.
And who knows what kind of danger, if any, this streamer girl is woman.
Yeah, that weirds me out.
Yeah.
I don't like it when young ladies are traveling with billionaires. Call me crazy. Call me Epstein, whatever, but it just doesn't sit well with me.
The whole thing just stinks. It's not good.
I saw this TikTok from this girl today, and she was like, "This is a not so typical day in my life." And she's like, "We traveled, my company CEO took us on a trip, and we traveled, and it was just like this exotic location, and then they had champagne to celebrate something. And then it was like one wonderful thing after the next. And I couldn't help but think, I'm like, oh my God, call your mom. Like, protect yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I'm worried that you're on a private, like, why are you guys
It's
at his
weird.
apartment for champagne, celebrations? It just all seems.
Yeah, it's very. So if you all of a sudden you're working for a company, and the head boss, millionaire, says, "We're taking a group of the employees out on a boat to my island. I own an island.
Right.
You going?"
Am I going? Yeah, because nobody's molesting me. I have nothing to worry about.
Jeez.
Is my wife going? No. No.
Right.
Is your wife going? If I have
No.
to say, no.
No.
No. If I can stop her from going, I'm going to
Thanks,
stop her
buddy.
from going.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't feel comfortable with it.
No,
you
it's a
know?
weird situation. There's never any good news coming from that.
Yeah. And I'm going to be really honest with you. Am I really going? Probably not, because I don't want to see it. I don't want to be the justice warrior there, stopping.
Like, now I got to
be security guard. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to, I just avoid the whole.
Because I would be, and you would be too. You wouldn't be able to sit there if something bad was happening to somebody.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
You got to call that shit out.
We'd be the ones going, why don't we just go to the bar on the corner for an hour, and then we'll all go home by ourselves.
Honestly, we'll just get a couple drinks. It'll take us an hour, and we're gone. I'm not getting on a boat.
Everybody goes their separate ways.
I'm looking to shorten my night. I
Yeah.
don't want to extend it to wherever.
Right.
No, I get it.
I was never, by the way, I don't know about you. I used to go to the company outing. I used to go to the happy hour. Happy
But it
to
was
be
like
there.
at Applebee's, or it was like a
That's
normal.
That's
whatever.
Done.
Yeah.
The minimal amount that I have to put in those situations. I don't want to be in those situations where because I feel like when those happy hours turned into let's get drinks after happy hour, which turned into let's get a nightcap, nothing good is going to come of that.
No.
In fact,
yeah, exactly.
The one time, there's been a lot of times, but there was one time where that happened and I wasn't there. And then I got a phone call at 3:00 in the morning from the New Jersey Police Department that's like, hey, do you work for this radio station? And I go, yeah. And they go, great. We have so-and-so and your radio station van here in, I think it was Secaucus or something like that.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, why? Well, because so-and-so had a little too much to drink. It was driving around in the station van.
Oh, boy.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate you guys calling me first instead of the press. They're like, well, we're fans of the station, so come on down here and get this idiot.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yep. I didn't have to go down and get him, though. Luckily, my the lady above me went and got him, which was nice.
Like, are you sure? It's like 3 a.m. Can this wait till tomorrow?
Yeah. We should have been like, fuck it, hold him. We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah. Tell him nobody's coming for him. Click.
Yeah. The best part was he was like, he called me after he got sprung and he was like, do you think I'm getting fired for this? I go, you are getting fired for this. Yeah. I go, nobody
you were fired the minute I got the phone call.
No, what'd you think? We're going to let you slide on a drunk driving thing?
Yeah.
I'm like,
one job. Your biggest part of your job is driving from A to B.
Yeah.
And you did it drunk. So that's it. You're done. It's over.
And he was like, what did he say? I shouldn't say any of this, but he goes, I said to him, I go, you're definitely, I go, I haven't talked to anybody, but you're definitely fired. I'm like, I'm telling you, you're fired. And he's like, oh, I was going to ask you if you could go to bat for me. I'm like, no, I'm going to tell everybody I'm firing you. It's not, can we keep John? It's going to be, guess what, everybody? John was driving drunk and I fired him. Like that's how that's going to go.
Yeah. His appropriate response should have been, yeah, that's the right move. I get it.
Yeah.
I'm out. I understand. But
like, it was like I thought, and it was hilarious was I think he only worked for us for like 6 or 7 months or 8 months. He might have been 8 months in. So it was kind of like hey, for all the hard work over the last 8 months, it's like,
well, we really bonded over this half a year. What's the problem?
Yeah, I probably Frank I've known for 40 something years. Him, I might be able to bend on a drunk driving thing if nobody was hurt. I might be like, all right, no big deal. 8 months, that doesn't get you anything. That doesn't get you a fucking thing.
No, there's not even a letter of anything. Recommend nothing. You're gone.
Yeah, not the only person that I had driving drunk the station van. By the way, there's another one of those stories.
God. That's not good, man.
Yeah. Remember the old RV that got ripped into? That was a little bit of a little bit of an incident there.
That's not good.
Yeah, that was a weird one though, because we couldn't prove it. She hit it on a client's building. It was a whole we were just like, just get rid of this as fast as possible. Just make sure this is just gone.
Oh my God.
It's tough being a promo person. I mean, like every what would you say?
I never had to deal with anything like that, thank goodness.
You never did?
Nothing like that, no.
Drunk people at any really?
No, we had a rule. There's 0 drinking.
We had a rule too.
You didn't enforce it.
And one of the places was the place that you worked at too. So
yeah, but it's like our rule is there's 0. You don't take a sip. There's nothing.
Maybe it's something about me then that they were like, this idiot will let us go.
This chump. No, it was it. I was like, no, there's no 0 tolerance to that. That's it. I'm not dealing with this. I can't.
Yeah.
That's the end of that. That's the rule.
For people who don't know, the radio promo people, they go to, you're either doing a car dealership opening or a sale or a bar, or a restaurant. So there's just drinking especially if you work for one of those young pop stations, you're just at bars.
Sometimes they do beer. There's actually, they do, breweries and they have big, sometimes there's a lot of alcohol around.
It's tougher for the personality than the crew, because the crew is clearly working, but the personality, and you've done personality appearances, personality is there to have fun. So it's almost
working though.
Also working, but I had like a 1 beer kind of a rule, especially if it was at a brewery. You couldn't not have their product, but you had to stretch that shit and make it work.
That I understand. Yeah, I understand that. But for the crew, no.
The crew, absolutely not. Only one time did I even get, like, there was one time I did an appearance at a restaurant, and they gave, what was it, a bourbon flight, I think. And by the third, like, bourbon tasting, I was like, holy shit. I was like, let's get some of that barbecue going, because I gotta fucking soak this shit up.
I'm gonna walk home 30 miles.
I'm like, more cornbread, please, because I need something to just level it all out. But never got in the car and drive even remotely buzzed. That was never a good idea. Option. No, not at all. Not whatsoever. All right, so that's the Telegram CEO. I feel like we're at the point where this just goes away and is not a big deal, or we're on another Epstein / McAfee / tech billionaire mystery conspiracy theory, right?
We don't know. It stinks of that only because it's a billionaire and
now blonde girls are disappearing.
A billionaire and his wife. No, it's similarities, but we don't even know the charges yet. We don't know anything really about what's going on yet, except that the guy was arrested and this young lady is missing. We don't know who else is involved or what the status is of any of the people involved, what kind of crimes were going on, and if it's related to the app at all, if there are other people involved. We don't know that stuff yet. I'm sure, it's early, right? This just happened today or yesterday?
Saturday night he was arrested.
Okay, Saturday night. So 2 days ago. So yeah, I'm sure more of that stuff will come out.
You sound like one of the guys in Combing the Desert in Spaceballs. Find anything yet?
Nothing.
Found shit.
Yeah.
That guy was my favorite. Again, that was another moment where that guy should have won an Oscar just for that one line.
It's a great line.
He delivered it with such gusto.
Nailed it.
We ain't found shit.
It's weird though. You ever notice in Mel Brooks movies, punchlines, for some reason, I guess it's the directing style, that he has. There was a punchline, and then the camera would remain on that shot for a couple extra seconds.
Yeah, they'd stay on the
It was
line.
weird. Yeah, very weird. Like the guy would have to, he would say the line, and then
Just have to stay there. Yeah.
and it would be a weird, and then it would like wipe to another scene or something.
Well, because he knew to leave room for laughter, which is
I get that, which is great.
Strange thing.
No, I get that. But it always felt, because after, of course, the first few times you watch it, you're laughing your ass off. But when you watch it for the 50 millionth time,
right,
you notice the gaps a little more.
You're not laughing in there. You're just like, why is he just staring at the camera? That must have been weird.
Exactly.
Well, I've filmed stuff. Like I've done commercials and all kinds of stuff. And you tell people, say this, and then don't just stare. Just stay in the moment. Stay in that line.
Yeah.
And they'll say the line, and they'll go, "Was that good?" And I'm like, "No, oh gosh."
How'd I do?
I'm like, "Stay with it."
Can I get up now?
Yeah. I had one person one time shoot something for me for something at the station, and I go, "Just get a bunch of clips, like 3-4 second clips." I was like, "Shoot a bunch of stuff, so then we could take like 3-second clips out and use it." And they literally would start the camera, count 3 seconds, and then stop it. So I never had a choice of what was good to cut. It was just like, oh, here's 4 3-second clips of just nothing. It just turned and whipping the camera around. I'm like, I can't use any of this. Good.
I remember in college, we'd have media classes, and some of the classes that we took, one of them was television production, and we had to use each other, all our classmates, in scenes, and we'd have to direct. The assignment was direct a scene of some kind, whatever it was. And I was the guy. It was such an easy thing to do, but he had to write a script that was 30 seconds long. And the catch was, for this particular assignment, it has to be 30 seconds. It's live. You have to fill the 30 seconds, and then it has to end on time. You can't go long. You can't stop early. It has to. Okay. So I'm the anchor, and it was just me in front of the camera sitting on a stool, and I had to deliver the lines that he gave me. So I had to have it memorized. He didn't write it, though. He didn't write anything. It was the day of the thing. And he goes, "Frank, you got to help me out. Can you do this?" I'm like, "What am I doing?" He goes, "Say that." He wrote like 2 sentences. And I had to fill 30 seconds. He wrote 2 sentences. He gave it to me. I memorized it. I sat down. I was done with the 2 sentences in 10 seconds. Okay?
Of course you were.
There was 20 seconds left to fill. Oh, I totally tanked it. It was awful. It was the worst. Yeah, it was the worst. When you're called upon to like improv in a certain moment, and sometimes you pull something out and it's great. This was not one of those times. I looked right in the camera. I was like, and that's what it was supposed to be like. Coming up tonight on Channel 5, it's blah 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 and blah blah blah. Then stay tuned for blah blah blah. And then it was over, and I was like, and you could see the stage manager going. I'm like,
oh man, that's his fault though.
It was his fault, 100%.
His job.
But I felt bad not being able to save the guy, but I totally tanked the he couldn't have been pissed at me because he didn't do anything. He didn't write anything, but it was bad. I've always remembered. That was like 20 years ago.
Stuck in your mind, right? Like just like it was yesterday.
Right.
Yeah.
Brutal. I've thought of like since then. It's been 20 years, and I've thought of like I'm by myself and thinking, what could I have said to fill those 20 seconds? And I should have said, damn it, I could have said that. Whoopsie.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah. Look at this from Paul. Maybe AOA shouldn't cover serious stories.
I don't think we should.
Should we not do that?
Well, I feel like everybody's done such a piss poor job. We've had to jump in and help out a little bit.
I mean, I'm all right with covering, nonsense stories. I'm fine with that.
Well, I don't know if anybody's noticed, but we excel at nonsense stories.
That's fine.
The serious stuff we just kind of do.
What on this list is nonsense? The second one's pretty nonsense. That's RFK gives Trump a boost. That's nonsense.
Well, no, that's important. That's a news. See,
it might be important, but it's also nonsense.
That's true. That's true.
What kind of,
I am getting to the point where I'm getting really tired of the like I'm looking at this. Okay, I know August is almost over,
Right.
but it's going to be a long September and October. And I'm kind of like, I'm under the mentality of, again, we'll cover it if it's a story, but I'm getting to the point where to make a story now between now and the next the next 3 or 4 weeks, it's got to be really significant to be a story in the race.
Well, look at the chat here. Everybody wants the nonsense. I'm here for the nonsense.
Yeah.
I think we veer away from. Maybe we don't do the serious, hard hitting stuff.
Fucking Robin is so good. I mean, he is so that's one of the more obscure Office references from an Office where they film a commercial in the Office, which is pretty fucking hilarious. But yeah, Mark is here for the nonsense. Mercury applauds the nonsense.
I'm telling you. I mean, there's maybe we fly past the serious stuff, like not fly past, but we mention it. We don't go as deeply into the.
Yeah.
We don't linger on those stories.
Well, I also like to bring some nonsense to the serious stories.
That's true.
All right, hold on.
As we can.
Now there's some real accusations being thrown around.
Oof.
You don't research seriously. I'll take some issue with that. But Christine says we don't listen.
To be fair, I think Christine, let me scroll back a little bit if it's still.
Yeah.
Christine said something. Okay. Back when we're talking about the Telegram CEO, Christine said, I noticed it, but I didn't want to interrupt you. Christine wrote, Google says allegations of fraud, drug trafficking, organized crime, promotion of terrorism, and cyberbullying. That's what Google says.
That's what we said.
For. Did we say that?
Well, because I said they're saying that these bad things are happening on his platform, and if he's not cooperating with authorities, is that aiding and abetting in the criminal activity?
Exactly. And what are the charges he's like? Those are accusations about his platform, right? But is he involved in any of that?
I think they're pinning it on him because ultimately it's his platform, right? And so if he doesn't acquiesce to the concerns, then he has to face the music. But the point is, what's super duper interesting here, and maybe we glossed over this a little bit too much, but I feel like I did say it, is this is an international company, and you're looking at multiple countries with all sorts of different laws, rules, and regulations. I mean, what flies here is pretty similar to France and the UK, and I understand that. But it gets a little tricky when you get into some of these other countries and their freedom of speech, So it's not like this isn't a case. I hear what Christine is saying, but I want to caution people that this is not, as far as we know right now, an American case. And the reason why Frank kept on saying we don't know the reasons is because when somebody's arrested in America, first of all, they're either detained and questioned. That's one thing. But if you're formally put under arrest, you're given a charge. And that charge and that information is released publicly. We have not gotten that. There's not been a thing from anybody that says, here's what this guy did wrong and here's why he's being arrested. The only thing we have is the statement from Macron. So that's why it's super interesting. And that's why we're talking in some abnormalities, some anomalies, because we don't really know the reason. We know the speculation. So what you guys are talking about right now is speculation. When the government arrests somebody and they come out and say this is the charge, that's not speculation, that's fact.
Right.
When they're arrested and there's not a formal thing put forward, then we can only speculate what we're up against here.
Yeah, we don't know because they didn't release the official charges, and so once they do, we'll know. But now it's all speculation.
Correct.
All right. So RFK gives Trump a boost.
Yes, RFK gives Trump a boost. We can talk about polls and what they mean, and everybody likes to interpret things differently. But we've been taking polls for what they are. Give you some indication. They're not always correct. I do. Again, I've bragged about the system that we use here in order to get a true picture. That's not this. It's too early for that. That takes multiple polls and and different algorithm plans and all that kind of stuff, modeling and shit like that. That's not this. This is just, here's the first poll that has come out post Democratic National Convention, and polling that indicates that RFK's exit from the independent role here to the Republican Party, or at least an endorsement of Trump, has given Trump a bit of an edge, which has him 48% in a one-on-one matchup against Vice President Harris. Let me see here. Trump eked out a narrow advantage over Harris, 49-48 in a one-on-one matchup, but the vice president came out on top, 47-45, when third-party candidates were in the mix. This is according to Echelon Insights, who created the survey. Kennedy, who suspended his campaign, nabbed 4% support, with Green Party candidate Jill Stein and Libertarian Chase Oliver each at 1%. An exact number for independent Cornel West was not provided, so those are the other three. Jill Stein, who's been around before, she's always the Green Party candidate.
These are the serious stories we should avoid.
Yeah,
I think everybody's
bored out of his mind.
Everybody's hearing numbers going, oh my God, when are we going to get to, I don't know, Oasis reunion?
Well, when Kennedy was taken out of the mix, Trump gained about 3 percentage points to tie Harris at 48% apiece. Trump allies, of course, are hoping that Kennedy's so-called suspension of his campaign, not terminating of his campaign, as well as the withdrawal from the ballot in 10 competitive states, could give him a much desired boost. Kennedy remains on the ballot in a slew of less competitive states, as we talked about in last episode, that he's encouraging people to still vote for him in those states, but he voluntarily took his name off of the ballot on the states that were or are considered to be swing states.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first polls show a little bit of a boost there for Trumpy.
I mean, it just goes to show. I mean, the guy's nuts, RFK, right? I mean, he's got a lot of issues, and he backs Trump. I don't understand. Like, I don't know. He's just a weird guy, and the part that Trump party. I don't want to say Republicans, but the Trump party keeps getting weirder and weirder. It's just, it's just. This guy, how it could, I guess he had a little following, his, whatever following, it's little compared to the other two candidates, but are they all of a sudden, they're just going to go, all right, if RFK says we're going with Trump, we're going with Trump. It's two different, it's apples and oranges, right? I mean,
but it's whopping compared to the other independents who's, RFK was murdering those other people.
Yeah.
I want to talk about two things quickly on this, though.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of chatter that RFK should replace JD Vance was surprising to me from over the weekend. I think there's a good percentage of people that are not happy. I think there's a huge percentage of MAGA people that are not happy that the race is this close again. And I think they're taking that frustration out on JD Vance and not Donald Trump.
Yeah, because JD Vance is the problem. What the?
I think the big problem is that Trump can't stick to the issues, which everybody seems to be telling him he should be, and he's annoyed about it, and he can't do it.
He just keeps whining. It's just, that's all he does is get up there and complain. All these problems. We got so many problems. Everything's a problem. It's like,
yeah. But I saw, again, because, just on Twitter, just seeing a lot of people, Republicans, not fake Republicans, not rhinos, but like you go in and you because you see something that's pretty damning, and then you go into somebody's profile and you just read through, and they are there for Trump, but not loving the fact that, I don't know if it's that it's a close race or that JD didn't give them the boost that vice president picks tend to do. I feel like JD didn't have a chance to do it because when he was chosen, Trump was so far ahead of Biden post assassination attempt.
Sure.
So it's like, it's hard to tell if he had
some kind of, right, if there was an effect there.
Yeah.
I know. And it's weird. It would be a weird move if he replaced Vance, because that's the argument. His whole argument against Kamala Harris replacing Biden would be thrown out the window.
Right.
You know,
Because
yeah,
that's what I would say. You can't replace a candidate this close to the election, but we all know that that's not true
you can
anymore.
replace replace
So
them up until whenever.
and it's not beyond Trump to fire somebody who's not getting the job done.
Right.
Does he do that and look like a big, like if he thinks he could win by firing Vance and bringing in RFK, does he do it?
I mean, he'll do anything he can, I'm sure. I don't
To
put it out of
win.
his I don't put it past him. I wouldn't put it past him to do that.
Second part of this is there's lots of documentation, even an interview where RFK and his lovely wife, girlfriend,
No, I don't know.
Cheryl Hines, who played Cheryl
I
David,
think wife.
they're married, right?
I think so.
They're doing an interview together, and the guy asks him, asks her, what would happen? This was months ago. What would happen if he dropped out of the race and endorsed Trump? And she was like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And he went for clarification, and she's like, I think you know the answer to this. Like, she was just like not having it. Where is she in all this?
She's been pretty silent on the whole thing. She put out a statement on Instagram, Twitter, and it had nothing. It didn't mention Trump at all. It was weird. It was like, oh, we're figuring things out or whatever was going on here. See if I could find it here.
All right, while you're looking for it, because I saw there was a couple of articles over the weekend that were like, oh, she is not, sources say she's not happy. But I wasn't buying that because it's like, we knew she doesn't like Trump. So anybody could write a fucking piece that are like, sources say Cheryl Hines is pissed. And that's an easy thing to do, unless you actually have a real insider or you've heard her say. But I mean, I can't imagine this being a comfortable at-home situation right now with how she feels,
Yeah. Well, she didn't mention. All right, so she put a post out on Twitter. She didn't mention Trump specifically, but she wrote. Do you want me to read it? It's not that long.
Go with it. I'll tell you if we're bored.
The decision has been made to suspend my husband, Robert Kennedy Jr.'s presidency, and I'd like to extend a sincere, deeply heartfelt thank you to every person who has worked so tirelessly and lovingly on his campaign. They have accomplished feats that were said to be impossible. They have gathered over 1 million signatures, more than any candidate in history, and have achieved ballot access across the country despite the roadblocks and lawsuits that have been brought against them for the sole purpose of keeping Bobby off the ballots so no one would even have the opportunity to vote for him. I deeply respect the decision Bobby made to run on the principle of unity. Over the last year and a half, I have met some extraordinary people from all parties, Democrats, Republicans, and independents. It's been my experience that the vast majority of all parties are truly good people who want the best for our country and for each other. It has been an eye-opening, transformative, and endearing journey. That's 3 days ago. She hasn't put anything out since on Twitter.
Yeah, I can't imagine she's happy about it.
No.
I wouldn't think she would be too happy about it. Because I think she knows the truth. And here's the truth about this. And this is what bugs me about RFK, besides the flights on Epstein's plane, besides the brainworm, the bear story, the molestation, the assault that he acknowledges but says he can't remember. He's making this out to be, I don't love it when people act like the world is out to get them when the world just disagrees with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's Trump's whole MO. Everybody's out there. He's the victim every time he opens a microphone.
Right. He's always the victim. Like, RFK was the big victim in this because he was getting sued by the DNC and he was doing this. It's like, you're in a war. Like, if you jumped on, the Palestinian side of that war, you can't get mad at an Israeli for shooting at you. Like, you're in the war, right. There's, any war, you jump on the Russian side and you get mad at the Ukrainians are firing at you. Like, you can't get mad at that. You're in it, Right. So, but to turn around and be like, oh, look at what they're doing to me. See, it's like, it doesn't work that way. You were taking money from Republican donors. You stayed in the race to pull votes. Now you're on his side to pull vote. Again, I'm not mad. I don't take it personal. It's an election. Everybody's doing their part.
Yeah. As long as it's fair game, that's it.
Right. And they're suing you to keep you off of the ballot because that's what they can do because you're hurting them. I mean, this is what an election is. But for him to go out and cry and scream and try and manipulate people into following him because he looks like the victim, I don't like that. I never have, never will. It's just, again, it's fair. He's playing his part, but I would have appreciated a bit more of like, listen, the DNC is suing me, and because here's the thing. At the end of the day, I just don't believe him when he says that he's endorsing Trump. And I know this because of the things that he has said about Trump in the past.
Well, look at J.D. Vance has said, he said he called Trump America's Hitler.
True, but to be fair, that was 4 years ago. This is negative shit that RFK has said about Trump in the last 4 months.
4 years or 4 months. I don't know. I mean,
I'm just saying, like, he has a huge disdain for him. And the things that he's accusing the DNC of doing is the same shit that the RNC does and that Trump does. It's the same shit that it's a political campaign. Don't point at one and act like they're the problem.
Right.
And try and garner everybody's sympathy. You know?
I'd love to hear, just out of curiosity. It doesn't matter in the long run, I don't think, but I'd love to hear Cheryl Hines' statement on well, my husband's decision to endorse Trump is blah. Yeah. Just want to hear what she has to say about it.
Bird with a good comment here. Bird with an I. And but this is also the same as I read Bird's statement. This is also the same thing I don't love about Tim Pool. Like Tim Pool, who's an internet personality now, he was a Democrat, hardcore Democrat. Then all of a sudden he wakes up one day and realizes, oh, my side is full as much shit as the other. This was like 8 years ago. Because my side's full as much shit as the other side. And then goes on a rampage to just burn down the Democratic Party. It's like, I don't mind the awakening, but then be fair in your criticisms towards both parties. Like you got broken up with, or you broke up with somebody, and now you're just going to make their life miserable while the other side is just as guilty and full of shit. It doesn't play with me. Bird says, you forget to mention why he joined Trump. It's a protest on the Dems. He clearly wants to make a statement and hates how the Dems have dismissed democracy, and they say, which they say they stand for. And I agree with you, Bird.
Insanity.
But both sides say they stand for that shit. He basically
democracy. How about trying to overthrow a fair election? That's not dismissing democracy.
January Hang on. 6th? When did that happen?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't. I don't know. It's just this famous date that will,
What was the date? Give me the date.
I think it was January 6th. It sounds familiar. I'm not sure though.
All right, hold on. January. That's my new bit now. I pretend to lick a electric pencil.
That's good.
Why
do people lick pencils?
I don't know, but people used to do it all the time back in the day.
Doesn't make any sense. I
want to bring it back.
Maybe pencils were different when people used to do that. They don't need to do that anymore.
All right, hold on. I'm going to look at this January 6th after the show and get back to you on that.
All right, yeah. Just look at it. You might come up with something.
But yeah, again, like it's because he's breaking up with the Democratic Party. His dad, his uncle, he was in that party his entire life. And now, and here's the other disingenuous part of it. He's mad they go to her versus him. You don't think he wanted to be chosen? You don't think he would be proud to be the Democratic nominee today if he could have been? Of course he would have been. He wants to be president. You think he wanted to be an independent candidate?
Right.
After his dad and his uncle were both who they were? Like, I don't think so. I think he's pissed.
Right.
And he's scorned.
Probably.
Robin is, let me tell you something. Robin is on the ball. That was licking the pencil was an old Letterman move.
Right.
I used to watch him do that all the time.
And then he'd whip the card at the camera.
Oh, I love the whipping of the card. Yeah. Or
stuff.
He'd whip it at the camera, or he would turn around and throw it at the fake set behind him, and it would break the. Remember, Paul would play the breaking of the glass.
Yep. Good stuff.
So good. Yeah. It was so good. We lost the great Sid Vicious. This is sad to me.
Yeah.
Childhood.
I get, it's very, very sad. I got out of wrestling before Sid Vicious. I didn't really know.
You were terrible at it. He would have kicked your ass if he.
Right. I was not a good fighter. My costume was not ironed all the time. No, it was a bad. I don't. When I was young, I was into wrestling, sure, but I got out. I didn't pay attention to it after. I'd say I wasn't around. Like I wasn't involved when The Rock was there. Stone Cold. Like I was
Sid Vicious was
back in the day.
Back in the day, he was back in the day.
I don't remember him very much, but I saw, I know pictures of him. I saw him. I was like, yeah, I know this guy, but I never followed him as closely. So he may have been a slightly after my time.
Well, he was always one of those guys that you look back on and you go, why wasn't he as big as Hulk Hogan? Because he was certainly as big as, like, he was bigger than Hulk Hogan. You remember, like, the muscle, like, he had an extra muscle from his shoulders to his neck. It was like this, whatever this muscle is over here was huge on that guy.
His muscles had muscles. It was weird.
Crazy weird. And speaking of meme, I don't know if you remember this, but he had the famous video clip where he was jumping in the ring doing something. He comes down, lands on his foot, and his leg just snaps in half sideways. Remember that?
Oh, that always, I don't know. It happens way more often than it should. That snapping of the leg and then it just dangles.
Yeah.
You see that in football. You see that a lot in wrestling. But it's whoa.
It's brutal.
I don't know how anybody doesn't scream. Like, I've seen people do that. They land on their leg and then they don't even notice it.
Yeah.
They look at it and they go, oh shit.
Oh no.
That's not good.
Is that my leg going the wrong way?
Yeah, not good.
Yeah. For it, by the way, very funny, Christine, not the British singer.
No.
The wrestler.
Yeah.
He was Sid Vicious, he was Sid Justice, and he was also Psycho Sid.
Psycho Sid, that's right.
He probably had a couple more names than that, but those are the names that I remember.
Right.
Him having. His son announced that he passed away, 63 years old, suddenly passed away after battling cancer for several years. So that
cancer,
sucks,
man.
Yeah, fucking cancer.
God.
And a dude like him, again, he was just all like, you think a muscle dude like that would just be healthy as shit,
Well, he probably was, but cancer doesn't, sometimes it just doesn't matter. I don't think it can go after any, healthy or not healthy person, depending on what kind of cancer, I guess.
Yeah.
Could get it sucks. It's terrible.
And was one of those dudes who had an all-time business in the front, party in the back.
Oh yeah, the mullet, man. Curly.
Little short curly hairs, and that thing would that curly hair would just mullet back to perfection.
I can't picture him without it.
I know, right? He really they posted some pictures of him on social, and he really did. He still was rocking the mullet to this day.
You gotta look at he's stuck with it, man.
Yeah, he really did. And they posted like pictures of him with his grandkids at like the baseball, like the little league fields and everything.
Yeah,
it's very sad. It's very, very sad.
R.I.P. Sid Vicious.
Yeah, you will be missed, my friend. What's going on with Bird? What was the thing that you?
So, we're all thinking about your Bird. Bird's niece, was in an car accident, and is in critical condition. So we're all thinking about you, and we're all hoping that your niece pulls through and is okay. Please, if you can, if you like, keep us updated. We're talking about it on Discord. So we're all thinking about you, and we're hoping everything turns out okay. So pray for Bird's family. Absolutely.
I thought I saw something that was like did we get a little bit of good news before the start of the show, or?
There was a little bit of good news. Let me see if I can retrieve it here.
We're all on our Discord. If you haven't joined the AOA Discord yet, I don't know what you're doing.
The doctor Bird said, if I may read this, Bird. So she was run over by a car, but she is still fighting. So that's the news from Bird in the chat. And in our Discord, the doctors are starting to get a higher oxygen reading. Please keep the positive vibes coming. She's still critical, but has made some improvements in the last hour or so. So that's great.
Okay, so the amount of time that she told the Discord, there was slight improvement.
What?
The amount of time she told the Discord, there was slight improvement.
there was slight improvement. Yeah, so the over
I'm
the
going to go
last,
ahead and credit that with the Discord, the positive vibes coming from the Discord.
yeah,
There's
love it.
healing. There's healing powers in there.
Yeah, we're all pulling for your niece.
Yeah, that's sad. That's heartbreaking. Sorry, Bird, that you're going through that.
Hang in there.
We're all here for you. The shame of it is there are so many other people that I would love to get into a car accident, and they're just walking around
That's nice.
scot free. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
You jerk.
And now you got somebody nice like Bird's niece there, and she's got to go through all this suffering.
Yeah, it's not right. And I don't know who you want to get hit by a car. That's
I got a lot of people. I could
Do you?
start reading you off. There's a really long list. Yeah,
All right.
there's a really
Anybody?
really long list.
Anybody I know?
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people. You know, a lot of people close to your neck of the woods, my friend.
Okay. Oh, geez.
In fact, if you want to see somebody, go take a look at a mirror because you've been driving me crazy since the start of the show.
I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Bird says registering at a level 67 oxygen. All right. I hope that's good.
I don't know.
I hope that's on the come up.
Yeah, I hope that's good too.
Yeah. And I'm just kidding, everybody. I'm trying to bring some humor to this. I'm not going to put negative vibes, positive vibes out into the universe.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what's amazing when you have I have somebody right now that's going through, I have two people right now that are going through some shit. And it's amazing how much stuff you start learning like really quickly. Like oxygen, that just reminded me because somebody I know is going through something and I'm like, what's that perhaps some level at? And they're like 56. I'm like, all right, good. That's good. We got a good perhaps level.
You got to keep that up, right?
Yeah. 4 minutes ago, you had no idea what the fuck this thing was. And now all
I'll
of
go
a
get
sudden,
you some cabbage because I hear that's good for that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You just learn all this stuff all of a sudden.
It's amazing. It's amazing. But it sucks, dude. Going through, I got one family member right now that's just, out of work, just going through it right now, just struggling to get healthy again. And it's just like, it's just awful. You don't realize how much your health is worth, until you see somebody that is just in a tough spot. And you're like, fuck, I'm just grateful that I'm okay.
Gotta be grateful, man.
You really do. You really do. It's so hard to take. It's so easy to take it for granted. It's so hard to be grateful all the time.
Yeah. You don't realize how, lucky people you can be just having your health and being able to do what you want to do. It's big when you look at, there are people that don't have that luxury, and it's you're right. It's easy to look to what's it called? To take for granted. It's true.
Yeah. Oceani wants to know if Sid Vicious bashed his wife. I don't know. I've never heard anything like that.
Don't know. I don't know that.
Bird says most of us are between 97 and 100 oxygen. She went from 0 to 67. So that's fantastic. That is fantastic.
That is a big improvement. That's great.
I'd like to get that up to 73 before the end of the show. So I'm going to start to concentrate on that number.
Let's shoot higher. Keep going.
75?
I'd like to see a 97. Let's go.
All right, well, don't get too. We can't.
Go all the way. No.
But let's baby step it.
No, all the way.
Baby steps out the door.
Baby.
Baby steps down the hall. All right. DJ Shenanigans down for 100 too.
There you go. Aim high.
All right. Well, we're thinking about your Bird. Rhoda says ants at a 68 oxygen. Usually. I am finding it harder and harder to breathe.
I gotta crack that window, man. Dude, in that studio.
I come up the stairs and I'm like out of breath now. I'm like, holy shit, I need to get back on the diet. Times are tough over here.
Yeah.
Here's what's good though. Let's get over to some good news. An Oasis reunion.
How long has it been since they were together?
It has been quite a while since Oasis has donned.
What, 20 years?
20 years. 2004.
Does that sound right?
That's probably about right.
Give or take.
Yeah. It would have to be 2004.
Well, let's think. When was the last champagne supernova? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it in my notes here. I know they're getting together for the 30th anniversary of Definitely Maybe. That was the
Mark says 2009.
Okay, so 25 years.
No, 15 years.
Okay.
Nice try, though.
Yeah, you would be correct. 15 years.
Yes, I would.
That would be good. Glad we got you here, buddy.
Anytime.
Keep it all in the straight and narrow for the rest of us.
No problem.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe it was the breakout record. So it's the 30-year anniversary of that, which came out in '94. That had Champagne Supernova on it. That had Wonderwall, Don't Look Back in Anger. That was a pretty. Those are some 75 million records it sold worldwide.
It's no 80 million, but it's all right.
That's a good point. Again, you're
right.
I'll call you Mr. Math from now on. You're just on it.
I know which numbers are higher than others.
Here's the thing, though, and this also. So the Sunday Times in Great Britain reported that an anonymous industry insider says that they are adamant that the two will reunite for a series of high-profile concerts next summer, including a headlining slot at Glastonbury and what would be a record 10-night run at Wembley Stadium.
Ooh.
So that's the rumor.
I just want to hear two songs, and then I'm good. Just play Champagne Supernova and Wonderwall, and
what, you don't like Don't Look Back in Anger? That is a fucking classic.
Yeah, but then it's no Champagne Supernova or Wonderwall.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
you probably can't name two songs from Oasis besides those two.
No, I can't. I can't even name the one you just said. You just said it, and I don't know what it is.
Well, listen, you're here for the math. You're not here for anything else.
No.
You know, how many songs do you know versus how many I said?
You said you literally just named a third one, and I can't remember what you said.
So you got 2 out of 3.
I got 2 out of 3, which
Mr.
ain't bad
Math
according to me.
Again. Mr. Math, that's true. Good point.
Thank you.
Liam replied in a thread about an article about their reunion, and he said, "See you down the front." And then he also posted a cryptic tweet of his own saying, quote, "I never did like that word former," when discussing the former bandmates. They were discussing the two of them. So he goes, "I never did like that, word, the former."
I see.
They also said something Noel was on stage and he said something kind of hinting towards an Oasis reunion. I have to be honest with you. I know everybody's excited. I'm excited.
Are you?
I'm excited. This is excitement. But I feel like I'm the only one who's a little pessimistic on this, because you're talking about them staying in a good place from now until next summer. That I don't have a lot of faith in.
Well, they were in a good place for years before 2009.
Not many, though, because they fought for a long time.
They were in a place where they could stay together as a band.
They could have, yeah. But
that's all we need.
Don't forget, and I forget which one because they're brothers. They both look exactly the same to me. I don't give a shit. Their MTV Unplugged, they had a huge fight beforehand, and one of them left, and then the other one had to sing. And then we later found out that the one who left was sitting in the rafters of the theater, just shitting on the brother who stayed to sing.
That is next level, just being a dick.
Yes. Just go leave. No, he sat there and booed and was like, "You suck." And the whole fucking time he was trying to sing the whole,
That's
here we
cool.
go. Mark, yeah. So Liam was the one who booed and heckled Noel, I guess.
That is creatively terrible.
Yeah, it really is. It's the thing that only brothers can really do to each other.
Yeah.
But those are some difficult dudes. Yeah, they're pretty difficult guys. The Gallagher brothers. But anyway, they say they're going to get back together next year. There's a whole we know we're getting a package deal. They're going to re-release the record, put out some extra stuff, which I'm really excited about, because that was just a fucking killer record. You don't really get to beat that 90s music era. I still think it's one of the best, maybe just behind the 70s as far as music goes, from 92 on. It's funny, not the first 90 to 92 was shit. Somewhere at the end of 90, towards the end of 92, and realistically till about 96, 97, when the boy bands and
right. We were still walking like an Egyptian into the 90s. We were trying to get out of the haze of the 80s. I mean,
it's true.
You're waking up from our 80s stupor, and then we got into 92, 93, and we're like, all right, we're back.
We could do this.
We can we can pull through.
Yeah. Rhoda says music now sucks. I tell you, I thought we went through another great period of music in the late 2000s, early teens. And now I feel like we're coming back around again to just a lot of blah, you know.
Yeah, it is. Most of it is generic. Every now and then you get a gem here or there. But you get a lot of generic sounds. Then you get a few that shine through, like a Taylor Swift, or new Metallica.
New Metallica. What's weird though about music right now is it's almost too democratized, if that makes any sense.
Doesn't.
Like, we're getting great songs from people, but they're not staying. There's almost no staying power anymore.
Well, they're never. I don't think they're. I guess there was, but you got a bunch of names that have stuck around, that are sticking around. There's not a lot. You're saying like there are more one-hit wonders than there have been?
Kind of, because you just get these like greats. Like, people could recognize songs, and a great song will rise to the top, you know? But the problem is it's, and I feel like this is partially because back in the day, you used to buy a record, you used to buy a CD, you used to go out and physically own something. It meant more to you.
Right.
Than it does now. Like, the songs that I love that come out now, and I don't know if this is just because the other songs have been with me for 20, 25 years, but it's really hard to have a song stick with me now. Like, think about songs from 5 years ago. What sticks with you from 5 years ago? Probably not too much.
5 years ago.
You could probably scrounge up 3 or 4 tracks that are 5 years old that you really love.
I don't know. When was Gangnam Style?
It's catchy as shit though, isn't it? I mean, it's still good. Yeah,
it's still
good. Yeah, it still plays. It's still really, really good.
There's nothing wrong with that song.
Yeah, you get that Gangnam Style come on, you're like, hey, you know what, this is whatever happened to that guy? Why isn't he coming back?
Yeah. What am I complaining about? This is gold.
What I get so mad for? This is good shit.
What am I? Yeah.
Oh, that's so true. But I think it is. I really think it's part of that. I think that's part of the problem. Sometimes we're not paying for it anymore as easily. So
I miss CDs, man. I do. I miss having CDs in my car and listening to a whole album, beginning to end. I could do that on whatever streaming thing, but for some reason it's just not. I think there's a difference in sound quality. I know people say that with every medium. Records don't sound like, which one. There's arguments to be made for which medium is the best one and which has the best sound and whatever. But I personally, I landed on CDs as having the best quality sound. It just was richer, fuller, and cleaner. Everything was like perfect. The sound quality was perfected, in my opinion, with CDs. Tapes, cassette tapes were not great. Records, sure, but you had that hiss, which of course everybody loves. But if in terms of sound quality and having things that you can't hear, versus things that you can pick up, I don't know. CDs to me, and I know a lot of the stuff that are streamed comes off of CDs for the most part. Like as we've transitioned from CDs to digital.
That's true.
I'm sure that's a thing, but for some reason, popping a CD. That's why when we got our new car, I was like, "So where's the CD player?"
Like, where's the party?
Yeah, it's not a thing anymore. So I was like, "Oh, okay. I guess I gotta use my phone."
That hasn't been a thing in a really long time.
I know. It's sad though. So you can't fit a little thing in there. That's all I want. It's not taking up that much room. It's this thin. Just put that in there. It's fine. I don't understand. There's so much room. I mean, I understand the cassette was a little wider, a little thicker, and it had like all the buttons and everything. Now, pop a little CD in there.
It's tiny. Yeah, it's tiny.
It's tiny. Doesn't take up much room. I remember back in the day, in the 90s, we had the CD changer in the trunk. Remember that?
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
You had to load up the trunk before you hit the road
with
the CDs that you wanted. That was great, and you could just shuffle around, and you could hear it changing in the trunk. Yeah, it puts the new CD in. Those were the
And you would
days,
show
man.
everybody when you got the car. You pop the trunk open. Take a look right there.
And then
CDs.
when someone loaded in luggage, so careful, the CD changer.
CD changer. Watch what you're doing.
You want to hit that.
I could fill that with CDs and drive through 4 states without having to fucking get out of my car and open up the trunk.
I don't have to look down at a screen to figure out what song to pick next. It was all on the CD. You could make a mix CD. I mean, you could do playlists and stuff on but you gotta it's such a pain. No one's doing that.
No. I remember
this. A playlist?
Oh, I make playlists all the time. I make playlists on the run too. It's bad.
See, that's not good.
No, it's not good.
That's why you do your CD work at home and then you bring it into the car.
You put it in that little thing that sits on your
visor holder thing. Yeah.
Oh God, remember the books? Remember the booklets of CDs?
Right? It looked like a wedding album, but you open it up, it's all CDs. Yeah. Oh, those are great.
Got all my CDs in here, man.
With the zipper, all around the sides.
Yep. I had one that was individual. It was just a CD size, and it was like they were always. That was one side was flat, and the rest of it was always around.
Right.
CD, and then there were the books that had like 4 on a page, and you would just flip it like a family photo album. Remember when you would be at home, and you'd be like, "Man, fuck, it's in the car." You'd have to get up, put shoes on, go outside.
Yep. Or if you're in the car and you'd be like, shit, it's in my Iowa. I gotta go get it out of the 3 CD changer. Those were the best stereos. I loved those.
Everybody had an Iowa stereo, didn't we? We all did in Queens. I don't know if that was a national thing or just Tony in Brooklyn was just pumping out Iowa stereos. I have no idea.
I don't know, man, but they were a big seller back in the 90s.
Huge.
I remember listening to the radio with a blank tape, waiting for the song that you liked to come on so you could record it.
Mm-hmm.
That was not easy.
A lot of them came with the 2 tape decks, so you could play one tape onto the other tape.
Right.
Yeah, that was a big to do.
Remember there was like this was like BC AD moment when you could remember when you discovered on your Walkman that when you fast forward or rewound, it gets to the beginning of the song. It would stop at the beginning of each song.
Oh, like the track when you hit the next track? Skip track?
Yeah, you could just hit fast forward and it would stop right before the next. See, that was gold.
It was an eye-opener. Yeah, because I don't know about you, but I was awful. Records and even more so tapes going to the next track.
Yeah, it was
because you had to time it. You had to fast forward it, or you had to lift the needle, and I could never find the groove where the next track was ever. And fast forwarding, you'd always be in the middle of the fucking song. Then you had to go back and do it.
Yep, and the best was the bass boost. Remember that thing?
Yeah.
You had either on the cassette, the Walkman or the Discman. See, it would have a little bass boost. Whoever has that off?
Who? Psycho.
Why would you have that off?
That was the first indication of this person is potentially going to be a serial killer.
That's a red flag.
Yeah.
If your bass boost is off, you're a psychopath.
You got some problems coming down the pipe. Yeah. Those fucking people. And then remember when they put the 3 CDs into the top of the Iowa? I don't think I ever had that one, but there was the ones where you could put 3 CDs in there.
Oh, yeah, I had that. Yeah, I would change it and it would pick up the one in the back and play it and then put it down. And it would rotate. We had that, yeah. But every now and then it would get stuck or the tray would close and you didn't have the CD in all the way yet and it would get jammed up.
That's right, because the whole tray slid in.
Yeah, the whole tray came out, and you'd have to place all the CDs, and then the tray would slide in, and it would rotate.
Oh my God, so funny!
Good
so
stuff.
Funny. And then I remember in my living room, my parents had their stereo. They had the 6 CD changer, but it was like in the big block disc, and then you used to pull that out, and then it had the 6 individual trays in it.
Yeah,
and you had to load it up, and then you had to remember what you put where.
Yep, we had that same thing, and we always had there was Elvis Christmas in there or something because we would just leave them. A lot of them were Christmas because we would just leave them in there, and then every Christmas we would just turn their stereo on, and they would all be already loaded up.
They'd all be there,
and I remember that. So we had this entertainment center or thing in our living room. It was an entertainment
unit.
Yes.
So
it had the TV in the middle, obviously. Then it had like the cable, and it had all the VHS tapes underneath in cabinets. And then on the left side, it was like the CD player. I'm sorry, the DVD player, the what's it called? The VCR and all this other stuff. And the whole right side cabinet, which it was like 5 feet tall, it would be like 4 or 5 levels of the radio. It was just the radio. It
Right.
was like the record player, the AM FM part of it with the dials and the fucking meters. And then they had like the tape deck and then the CD player, and it was it was all on shelves. And then the stand up 4-foot high speakers on each side of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Could blast the neighborhood with those things. You can't. They don't have. I guess they have them now. Huge stereo systems like that, but nobody goes crazy anymore. Now that they're all this big, they're all the Bluetooth speakers.
They're all Bluetooth. Well, they said because for a while there they were doing CDs and Bluetooth. They were putting into those stereos. So they were saying to keep the cost of a stereo system down, they had to sacrifice on the sound, basically because before that it was just how can we get the best sound. So they were spending all their research and development, all the money to bring a product to market was spent on R&D to get the best sound possible. And then at some point it was, well, we have to have a CD player that costs money to license CDs. Sony owned that. They had to do Bluetooth. They had to do all these things that they had to pay money to incorporate into their unit, so that all that money dried up for research and development. That's why the sound started to suck.
And I'm not complaining about the Bluetooth speakers because a lot of them sound really good, but I feel like we sacrificed a little bit by going. We went smaller with the speakers and the Bluetooth. It's definitely not the sound we had 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
Dude, I can remember my father's stereo system that he had in the 70s because that got relegated to like my grandparents' part of the house, right? Because you never threw that shit away. I can remember like the heartbreak on his face when we finally got rid of those. And I could remember how great they sounded. They sounded better because my dad went and got Bose whatever upstairs and did the whole fucking thing. And it sounded amazing. It still wasn't like those fucking 70s fucking, used to put a plant on top of it.
Yeah. It was a piece of furniture, the speakers.
Yeah.
It was like Frank. It folded out into a bed.
TD Frank, freelancer, somebody after your own heart. I have one of those CD folders with the zipper right here next to me. All types of CDs, even mixed ones I made for myself.
Excellent.
You are gangster, TD. That is wonderful. Hardcore to still have those. Do you still have your CDs?
I have a few of them. I don't have a lot of them left, but I had a Metallica CD case. It had I think it was maybe Saint Anger on it or something. Like the cover of it, it was like a leathery looking. It looked like those old graduation books where you flip through. That's how big. That's how big they were with the zipper, and it had like an embroidered front of it and everything. And I think it held like 20 CDs, but it was. I had that. I think I had one of those big, like wedding album looking ones that never really filled that up. But it's always the last half of it is always empty.
But what's great for those? Like I could remember. I could close my eyes. Mine was yellow, and I could still remember the Dave Matthews Band sticker I had on the back of it. Like, where do you put stickers now?
On your Bluetooth speaker. You're not going to put them on your car. You can't put them really on your phone.
Yeah. I put some on my computer, but it's like, I don't know. Like we used to be able to put just stickers and patches on our book bags, stickers on our CD cases. There's no room for any of this shit anymore.
There was thought put into your music enjoyment experience.
Yeah.
There was so much thought put in. The sound quality, the CD, keeping it, you have to take care of the equipment and the CDs and whatever. This is just, you plug it in, you hit type in a thing and it comes right on. So you don't really have to maintain anything. So there's not a lot of care. I feel like we lost a little bit of what we gained in convenience. We let go of quality sound and just attention to that level of just enjoyment. Just being able to sit to create like like you said, your dad had like the bow, like the surround sound and all that stuff. There's not a lot of that anymore. You get one little speaker and then like that's your whole thing.
Yeah. And it was a battle too. It was a conquest. Like you remember walking into the record store and you're like, I'm not really here for anything specific, but I got $20 in my pocket. I'm going to buy something I like. And you used to go out and search for it and find it. And now it's just like on tap for us. And
there's no hunting anymore. Search. I mean, you could still browse around YouTube or Spot or whatever, but I don't know that discovery isn't there anymore. That journey of finding something. It's that old, not that old, but that Pete Holmes thing. He goes, it's like with Google, there's no wonder anymore. You just have the answers right there at your fingertips. There's no time for you to marinate in the not knowing something. You want to know something, just look it up, and it's 2 seconds and it's gone.
And it's over, yeah.
So it's like that convenience is there, but there's no magic to it anymore.
Marx has found a box of mixtapes from the 80s. So funny to hear the last seconds of the DJ before the song starts.
Yeah, you had to record them off the radio. I remember there was, I forget what songs, but you wait for it because it's a popular song and you're like, all right, any second now, it's going to come on. And you sit there listening to the radio for like an hour before they play the song again.
Yeah.
And you miss the first 2-3 seconds of it and you record.
Do you remember how pissed you used to be at DJs for hitting the post?
Yeah.
And then you became a radio DJ, and it was like an art form, But back then, you were like, "Shut the fuck up! I want to hear the whole. I want to get the whole song without your stupid voice on it."
Yeah, but now you don't have to worry about that. They're not recording it off the radio anymore.
That's true. Lindarella, my favorite mixtape that I ever made started with by the Crash Test Dummies. And the other side started with Rush Rush by Paula Abdul.
Good tunes.
That Crash Test Dummies song is fucking a mushroom trip. Like there's no logical sense in that.
No, it's just telling stories. It's just telling some stories.
Yeah. And a girl who her hair color changed or something. I don't even know what the fuck's happening in this song.
But if you like that song, listen to Weird Al's version of that song.
Is it good?
It is good. It talks about like 90s pop like culture news stuff, like the Lorena Bobbitt story is in there. Like, there was this guy who, and he tells the whole story about Lorena Bobbitt and John, that whole thing, and then he goes to the Nancy Kerrigan and that whole thing. And it's funny. It's the only parody guy that is good at what he does.
Yeah, he was legendary. Stereos were the whole reason for the entertainment centers and the size of the whole living room wall. That's true, Bird. You would figure out your living room situation based off of the stereo.
Yep.
And that was based off of you bought the unit off of the stereo that you had.
Man, and then you look behind, there's like a million wires coming out, the speaker wires.
There was 500 wires, and you're like, I only have 4 speakers. Why are there this many? Where are these wires going to?
Well, you got the audio input. You got the VCR and the DVD, and there's a million things in that entertainment center. I remember growing up with Mike Millhouse, my brother. We used to share a bedroom, and we had this desk with like shelves on a big like wooden thing, and it had a big back to it, a whole bunch of shelves like that sat on top of the desk, and we had to run wires through it, but there were no holes on the back of this thing. It was just shelves. So the shelves, we didn't take anything off the shelves before we did this. So we took a screwdriver and a hammer and went trying to knock holes in the back, which we did. We were successful with knocking, because we had to run like the Super Nintendo wires and the VCR wires and all this stuff. So we're knocking, and all of a sudden, unbeknownst to us, the things on the shelves were gradually coming forward. And something, I don't remember what it was, something heavy fell off one of the shelves and landed on my brother's head. And he got so pissed. He took the what's it called? The Nintendo, and just threw it, and like, son of a bitch, why didn't we take this shit off? It was the funniest flip out I've ever seen.
That's hilarious.
We were kids though. We were like, I don't know, 12 years old.
There's a great thing when you're a kid at getting mad at inanimate objects for something that you fucked up.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's a great moment. I saw a thing. Speaking of memes, there was a thing of the corner desk that was made of wood, and the meme was like this had a hold of everybody in the '90s, and it's so true. That corner computer desk
That's a good one.
just went into everybody. Like I feel like we knew like 6 people that I didn't have one of those personally, but I feel like we knew 6 people in our 8th grade class that all had that corner desk.
It took up, yeah, it was like a real estate saver for some reason.
Yeah, for some reason.
Nice little corner.
And everybody loved a CD slot holder on entertainment units, desks. Like if it was like, N has this CD holder, you were like, oh shit, a whole fucking 30 CD. I remember when you got the like 60 CD changing holder. Remember the thing? And it would like rotate.
Oh, my brother still has that. It's a DVD holder.
That was space
He
age
still has
technology come to our friend group. We were like,
you press the button, or you press one button, and it's like a Rolodex. It rotates all the DVDs. I think it holds like 60 of them or something like that. You're right, and it would just like the laundry carousel at the laundromat.
Look, the dry cleaners.
The dry cleaner, yeah. That's what it was.
I wasn't around for the moon landing, but I imagine that's what it was like when you were watching Armstrong touchdown for the first time. Is when I saw that thing go around, and I was like,
you didn't even need to access one of the CDs or DVDs. You just the entertainment was all about pressing that button, because a light would come on too. It would be a light that lit up the one that you can look at, and then it would all rotate, and you're like, oh, this is amazing.
It was amazing.
That was a space age technology. I still don't know how that worked.
Well, I'm having trouble now because it was trending the other day that a bunch of people were leaving Spotify to go to Apple Music, and they were commenting on how much better the sound quality was on Apple Music versus Spotify. Yeah.
We need to get back to that. We need to get back to better sound quality.
I agree.
I mean, I don't know, just the you need to be surrounded by it. There's a lot of so this is just it all goes back to Metallica, but one of the tests that they do when they make an album is they take the album into the car and they play it and they see how it sounds with that kind of sound, that kind of surround experience. And that's the kind of quality you want to get, that full 360 kind of feel to it, that depth that a lot of songs are made with. That's the way they're recorded. You don't want that flat, awful. You want it to have that same depth that you get. I feel like they did that well on CDs.
A lot of artists do that. They'll still burn a CD and take it into a car that they can trust to listen to it.
Yeah, you want to get it on the best system.
Yeah.
And get it all, get it the way you want it.
It's funny because I saw, do you know J. Cole? He's like this, like I don't know, he's not the most popular rapper, but he's like super well respected rapper from Queens. And I remember like 15, 20 years ago, like watching a little internet video where he's like, we had to mix this album like 4 times because he did a mix for iPods. He did a mix for CDs. There was a separate mix that got sent to radio. Like they had to how they balance songs was different in all those different areas. So he had to do it like 4 times for his one record.
That's weird because I wonder if you get this mix and you play it on a different,
would it be fucked up? Yeah.
How would it sound? Because
think about the old iPods. They didn't have the bass driving that a CD player would. So you probably are pushing the bass up a little bit higher on some of your tracks to make it have the same effect in the little earphones.
Yeah. I remember when I had an iPod, I had an iPod with a little screen on it that you could watch, like, you download whatever movies or whatever on it. And you could set it to, it had like the music presets, like it was rock music the way and it would boost it would change all the level. Classical, it would change all the level. So I always went with the clear, whatever sounded clearest. I'd play a song and then just flip through them and whatever sounded clearest. Same
thing when you get a new car. I don't know if you did this recently, but you gotta tinker with that.
You tinker a little.
Those EQ settings a little bit.
Because everything's middle middle of the road, treble bass. It's all right in the middle, and you want to like, I boost the bass usually by like 1 or 2, and then I do the treble like 3 or 4. You want to turn everything up a little bit.
Yeah, and you keep the mid and right in the middle. That's
mid. You try to leave alone.
Yeah,
leave alone.
Paul says Spotify sound sucks for classical. Spotify sound. So in Spotify, there's a setting where it's like you can automatically make everything one volume. Like you can keep it close to one volume, but it still doesn't work because you'll listen to one song and it'll be loud up here, and then the next one that comes on is so low and fucking drives me crazy.
That's a pain in the ass.
Oh, I hate it so much. All right, let's speed through the next couple here. This Kentucky State Fair controversy.
What is this?
This made me laugh, man. So this guy, and let me bring this up for everybody so that they can see it. There's this guy who makes miniatures. I don't know about you, but I love miniatures. I don't know why.
Oh, dude, you'd love. There's a museum in Manhattan. It's a whole museum of miniatures.
All miniatures.
Like they have cities. Everything's tiny. Like they could, they do a whole miniature Manhattan, and it's like, accurate to whatever.
All the
it's
details.
like in one big room, and you could walk around it and have like people and things moving and lights coming on and stuff. If you're into miniatures, there's a whole miniature museum.
I'd have an orgasm. I'll tell you right now, I'd have an orgasm. I don't know what's hotter, miniatures or a woman wearing a blazer. I'm not entirely sure. It's very confusing these days.
Yeah, right.
But I don't know if it's because of like Christmas, like everybody had like the little villages at Christmas time, and you were just
those
like,
are good, yeah,
enamored by those. But I watched like these TikToks come up with these guys like making like city street corners, and like the post boxes messed up and the trash cans all fucked up and everything's graffitied and dirty looking, and I'm just like, this is fucking amazing. Real. Oh, it's so amazing. So this guy, the bearded miniaturist, he submitted a miniature that won an award and then was quickly taken down and removed from the Kentucky State Fair, because I don't know if you can see from the photograph that he posted on Instagram, but it turns out it's the porn set for what is it called? Hold on, wait. It's a famous like porn series.
He created a miniature porn set.
And they were so impressed they gave him the winner. They gave him the first place. And then somebody was like, that's a porn set. And they were like, oh shit. And they fucking
I mean, looking at that's a picture of it.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like there's much to it. I mean, I'd hate to see what the other ones look like. It looks like a desk and a couch.
Yeah, that's the whole, which is the brilliance behind the move, because it's not like, I don't know what a typical porn set would be. It's kind of any bedroom, right? But a bed would be a dead giveaway, right?
Right.
He went and picked the porn set that's like looks like a regular office.
Right. But my point, like, there's not much going on in this miniature display.
Yeah. No.
Like, I'd hate to see what lost to this. I mean, it's fine.
Right.
But it's a couch and a desk and a chair. I mean, it's not like he did, a complete. There's no pictures on the wall. I mean, like,
yes,
there wasn't not a lot of detail in this one. Is what I'm saying.
Not.
I don't know how many contestants there were, and I'm not degrading the guy's work. I'm sure he worked hard on this, but I'd hate to see what lost.
What lost to the casting couch porn set?
Right.
Yeah, that's true. They did not include any of the other entries into the.
What was the runner-up?
The runner. What was? I thought you did good. I lost to the porn set. Fucking The Office.
You never had a chance, dude. So what? So they had to disqualify it, or it's still the winner?
Yeah, they just took it down. No. They just like they yanked it from the display.
Good choice of words.
Thanks.
What do you mean? What does it say? Why does it say missing?
Because he didn't know what was going on at first. This is like an older.
They didn't tell him.
Yeah, they didn't come right out and tell him, like his and now I guess he's doing like, I don't know, I guess he's doing interviews and stuff to talk about it. But people started like tweeting about it and everything, and there's a couple of articles. So his name is Preston Poling. So Preston
what?
Poling.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about your here he is at the before the drama, the bearded minute. By the way, look at this guy. What a gimmick. He's got a beard. He's talented. Like, The bearded miniaturist. Who doesn't want to fucking follow this guy? I'm following this guy.
This guy's got a gimmick going.
Yeah, he's got a whole shtick going on. I don't think we need him walking all the way in the fucking thing here, but okay.
I'm glad they at least sped it up a little.
Yeah, well, I'm sticking with this because I'm wondering if we're gonna see. Okay, so look right next. There's like a mall right next to it. Look how that looks pretty complicated.
That looks. I'm sorry, buddy, but that one looks better than the. Again, that looks like a couch and a desk.
Yeah, I wish I could make it bigger. It's not really getting much bigger, is it?
That mall looking thing or whatever, that looks like a lot of detail.
That looks fairly complicated. There's trees, right? There's fucking. I guess people were pointing out that there's a camera on the desk, and you see the camera on the desk?
Okay.
And then the computer screen has the camera image.
Gotcha.
So
look at that.
The details are kind of locked in there. I don't know what.
Well, there's a blue ribbon on whatever that is.
Yeah.
Looks like.
Yeah.
A lot of cool, a lot of crazy stuff.
But that's
that one, his was picked as the winner.
Yeah, and then they just
they said, "Whoops,"
yanked it. Well, I don't know if he was the winner. He got something. He had a ribbon. Third place. Sorry, so he wasn't the winner. Third place.
Okay. All right. So at least. All right, so there were two better. I could see that. Maybe all right. So maybe the one next to him was second, and there was probably one all the way to the left that we didn't see. That was first.
Right.
Unless it's this one. This one was probably first. That looks like the blue ribbon there.
Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck this is. It doesn't make sense. Oh, here's a Walking Dead one. That looks like a lot of blood. I don't know. Just because it's a porn
hospital, it's kind of cool.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Just because it's a porn set doesn't mean that it's any less art than the Walking Dead.
Yeah, it is what it is. That's as long as it's done well and it looks like the thing, whatever it's accurate or it looks professionally done or whatever. Yeah, this is the hospital from the very first episode of The Walking Dead where he wakes up in the hospital.
Oh fuck! That's how the show starts. He just wakes up in a hospital. It looks like that.
That's not how the show starts. The show starts like he's friends with this guy, blah blah blah, and he gets shot, and then he wakes up in the hospital, and the hospital looks like this.
Shit, there's some good lines coming in.
And everybody's gone.
Paul says J-Sabs hates miniatures. Linderella
Look at that. That looks really good.
Linderella just commented miniature blazers. That would be amazing.
How do you? I mean, I wouldn't even know where to begin. Like, how do you make that ceiling? It looks like a regular ceiling that you would see. Like he had to
real drop
create all that shit. Yeah, that looks really good.
Unless he just takes a drop ceiling and just cuts a little piece of it out.
Maybe, but even that would look bigger than, you know what I mean? Like you know how a drop ceiling has like the little holes in it and stuff?
Oh my God.
Those are going to look huge.
Did you see this? Wait, can I pause this? Do you see what looks like little like ass cheek marks right here on the fucking couch?
Is that for real?
Or maybe knee marks, maybe. I don't know what that is, but there's two little marks right here.
All right. If that's correct, then yeah, he deserves
he got some detail.
He deserves a whatever ribbon he got.
What's great about this too is you're just nailing anybody who watches this like anybody who walks up there and goes, "Oh, look at this." You're just instantly like nailing these people.
Oh yeah. All right. Hey. Good job, buddy.
Honey, look, where does? Oh, never mind, honey. No, go away.
let's go get a turkey leg.
What were you looking at? Nothing. I thought this was The Office. Never mind.
Isn't that Dwight in the background? What's going
on? Shit. So that's that controversy.
Carpet's cleaner than I thought it'd be.
It really is. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Though the chair is kind of skeeving me out a lot. Yeah. But I guess that's part of the whole set.
Right.
Let's skip Lindsey Graham. He just take it in the face again from Trump. He like Jake Tapper. Do you want to hear? We're so late. It's so late.
Pittsburgh.
Okay. Pittsburgh Paulie. This fucking guy comes across my TikTok feed.
Okay.
And he's lying in bed. Big dude. And he's lying in bed and he's like, it's one of those things where I'm like, why is this on my feed? And so I see this video and I comment on it And to this guy's credit, like he fires back a line at me, which was okay. And then I go through the rest of the comments, and Frank, I nearly pissed myself when I saw some of these comments. So let me show. Here's Pittsburgh Paulie's page.
Here he is.
There's Pittsburgh Paulie. Let's give him a little bit of a scene here. 378 followers. Good for you, buddy.
Keep at it.
You fucking hang in there. He's got an interesting look to him. Like, look at these glasses, right? Like,
Certainly.
interesting. Like, he's got a beard in this one. I have a problem with him off the bat because he's a Pittsburgh fan. I mean, losers, right? I mean, that whole fucking city is just that. When's the last time they won anything? So this is the video that I come across, right? So I'm seeing this video.
If you vote for Kamala Harris, we can't be friends. But if you want to make America great again, vote for Trump, and we are friends to the end.
Like, I just love this whole scenario of like, here's the requirements to be my friend. And it's just, he's half naked. He's laying down. Like,
yeah, it's not a good start to your video of.
I know that's not your political views, but I don't know. There was some. So I wrote back to him, "Loved you" in Mike Tyson's Punch Out. That was my big line because I felt like he looked like King Hippo. I got a little traction out of it. What made me nearly piss myself was this guy wrote, "What are your CPAP settings?"
Oh boy, stop it! Leave the guy alone, will you?
Wait, he wrote back with, "I have your mom settings."
That's better. That's pretty good.
I thought that was pretty good.
I like that.
I thought that was really good. That's a really solid comeback.
That's a good reply.
Tom got my whole hippo thing, but his response to me was, "Oh wait, that makes no
sense like your existence."
Oh, but he was responding to that guy. Where was his response to me? He wrote something back like I punch out that whore wife of yours. Like whole. It was really graphic and awful. I was like, okay, well, this guy's got a little.
Good for him for you making fun of him.
Yeah, he got a little fight back on him. I don't know why his comment to me is gone. Shit.
It said there were 3 comments when you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hit hide. Yeah, 3 replies. Maybe
because his was a little not so nice and they hit it. Those things tend to do that sometimes.
Possibly.
But I don't know so I wanted to bring this to you. Because, by the way, so he's just trucking along at like just a couple hundred views. I mean, here's a couple. He exploded with this one, 3,000 views.
Right.
This is his big hit. So I wanted to bring this to you because it's like, should we have this guy on the show? I mean, he's just spitting some knowledge. Here's the next video.
Good morning, everybody. It's your boy, Pittsburgh Paulie. I had a revelation last night that.
Can I tell you what else I love? I had a revelation last night. Like this Pittsburgh fucking accent, that Pennsylvania accent.
What is coming out of his shirt here?
I don't know.
I had a revelation last night that if you're a dude and you vote for Trump, you have a huge meat stick and the ladies love you. But if you vote for Kamala Harris, your meat stick is the size of an ant and ladies run away from you.
All right.
Can you argue with this guy's logic?
I mean, wouldn't know where to begin.
Listen to the way he says vote. Stop.
If you vote for Kamala Harris.
If you vote for Kamala, like that whole, like, should we go get some water? Should we jump in the water? Like
the whole mispronouncing of Kamala Harris's name.
Yeah.
That annoys me.
You have to appreciate somebody with just like 400 followers that are just like, I'm going to tell the world what I think every step of the way. I don't know. I think he has the X factor.
Does he?
You're not enjoying this?
Not really.
You don't like the whole meat stick analysis? Because he came to this conclusion today. Don't you want to know how he got there?
Not really.
How'd you get to the whole meat stick thing where if you like Trump, you got a big meat stick? And who says meat stick? Where'd you get meat stick, by the way?
It might be a Pittsburgh thing. I don't know.
Dr. Dex likes this guy. See?
All right.
Robin is laughing at the dude. DJ Shenanigans is pointing out the obvious.
Oh boy.
He does kind of look like if you let AI draw Peter Griffin. This is what you would get.
He's got a lot of different hairstyles.
Mark says he has a factor. Yeah.
I agree.
I don't know. You should we invite Pittsburgh Paulie on to see if he has more to say?
It's whatever you want.
Wait, is he a stand-up? Because then I'm gonna hold on.
Yo, Scumadelphians. This is your boy Pittsburgh Paulie. I'll be in Scumadelphia next Friday, February 8th, to defend my crown. Tiger Wing and things.
I don't know what that is. I like how he calls Philadelphia Scumadelphia because that just makes sense.
It seamless.
Yeah, it's word flow.
Right. Rolls off the tongue.
It does though, doesn't it?
It does.
Do you want to hear what he has to say about New York idiots?
Sure.
Look at all these idiots out here waiting for a holla cart. Look at all these idiots. These idiots remind me of the idiots in Scumadelphia waiting for Pats and Genos. That slop. Look at them all. They're formed up in a welfare line.
That was good. I'm glad. Glad we
Look at all
watched
these idiots out here waiting for a holla cart.
that. That's my personal favorite. He calls it a holocart.
Instead of halal, I'm guessing.
Look at all these idiots out here at the holocart.
Oh, God.
I don't know, buddy. I think. What do you think? Yes? No?
Take or leave.
You passing?
I might pass.
Okay. I feel like maybe we can have him come on and give us a look. He's got orange hair in this one.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Pittsburgh Paulie. I got a question for you. This is out of the box type question. Have you ever had the urge of getting molested by another human being or by animals? Let me know. Comment on the bottom.
Yeah, I'm out.
You got 13 comments. Typical Steelers fan. And that's appropriate.
Yeah.
Straight to the comments to see who the sickos are. Yeah, that was a weird question. Somebody wrote Peter Griffin. It's unfair. Love those glasses. I do love the glasses.
That's a style.
I do kind of want to know where those glasses came from. Okay. All right. I like how he tags Kim Kardashian in a cheese stick video. Like that's going to connect.
She's going to respond.
Okay. Sorry.
Yo, Dave Portnoy, a.k.a. Pizza Douche. This is what a cheesesteak looks like.
That looks like
Come over to Curly's in
that's
Levittown.
gross.
Look at how massive this cheesesteak is.
How massive. Come over to Curly's in Livertown.
Everywhere you see it. Everywhere you see it.
Does look like a
It's
good
not like
cheesesteak,
that
though.
slop. Angelo's
Taking a trip over to Yellowstone tomorrow.
Angelo's
You
Pizza.
hear the people in the background? I'm going to go to Yellowstone tomorrow. There's something about the Pennsylvania people. They are just like,
You are all about making fun of people from other states.
oh, I love making fun of other state people. Because they got, what do they have over there? Hoagies. Let's go get a hoagie. Let's go get a hoagie.
A grinder.
Go get a hoagie and a water ice. Do you know they call their Italian ices water ices?
That's weird.
Because they're fucking animals. That's why.
Yeah. What else is an ice gonna be made?
Yeah.
It's gonna be water.
Get that Italian ice. He's got a lot of Gino content. Cheesesteak content. There's a lot of cheesesteaks on this page.
All right.
Maybe
Well,
they
he's in Pennsylvania. You're gonna get that.
Yeah. All right. I tell you what, he's on the algorithm now. If he pops on with a couple more gems like he did the last couple, I gotta say we gotta have him.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Pittsburgh Paulie. If you vote for Kamala Harris, then that means you want to legalize animal sex. What's going
Facts.
Is that right?
Prove that wrong.
I don't know, man. That's some throwdown words.
Do you agree or disagree?
I disagree.
You need to do your research.
I'm sorry. Circle gets a square.
Wake up, man.
I disagree.
do some research. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, somebody with this much integrity to them, I don't know. There's something about him.
Anyway,
He's so sure of himself, I think, is what I love the most.
it's the confidence you're attracted
It's
to.
the confidence, like your boy, Pittsburgh Paulie.
He's sticking with it.
He's got alliteration. Yeah, like how many videos can he express to us that voting for Trump is better than voting for Kamala?
I don't know, man, but
Plus, he also reminds me of somebody that we grew up with's dad.
yep,
Maybe that's a little part of it too. I don't know.
I got you.
Pittsburgh Paulie. What do you think?
There he is.
Yay or nay? Or maybe? You want to table it? You want to put a pin in this? You want to circle back?
I'm leaning nay.
You're leaning towards a no? You're going to flat
am.
out know it?
We don't have many guests, and I don't know, man.
All right, look at what Robin's doing with him already. He needs to steal a salad. Like, how funny is that? That's pretty
boy.
funny. That's pretty good.
I don't know, man.
Bird said, that's the scariest ginger I've ever seen, and I know my mom.
That's a good one. That's pretty good.
Mountaintops is screaming for cuddles. We need a voice of reason. Do we want to see what is does Erin have an opinion on this? Cuddles, J-Sabs, Erin. Mountaintops is just asking for any female to come in here and bring some logic.
Yeah, I think I'll pass on this guy.
DJ Shenanigans says, not exactly a voice of a generation. Oh, whoops. Cool.
There it is.
Trump calls MAGA basement dwellers. You think that's what he is? Probably.
I don't know. He gets out.
He does get out of the basement. Yeah. I wonder what he was doing in Pennsylvania. If he was at like a cheesesteak competition or if he was at like
about? He's in He lives in Pennsylvania.
I mean, Philadelphia, when he said he was going to be in Philadelphia for that one.
I don't know.
That one thing. Look at this. It's another cheesesteak video. He might be the cheesesteak
What's
guy.
going on? What's going on, guys? It's your boy Pittsburgh Paulie. I'm headed back.
You know what I like about this
Pittsburgh.
one is how steady the camera is.
And I decided
Yeah,
to
I'm
hit
not
up
nauseated at all.
this place. I've heard some good things.
See, I think he needs to give like cheesesteak ratings like 3 Trumps up or 2 Kamalas down.
That's terrible.
Well, to you, you don't get you just you're not part of this generation that he's
That's
speaking
probably
to.
true. I think
Yeah.
yes, though. I guess not.
You're an old guy who had CD cases. This is for the youth of America.
I'm sticking with my CD cases. I wish there was a CD player in my car. A little disappointed that there isn't.
I'm paying. You're the guy who's like, I'm paying how much, and there's no fucking CD player.
Come on.
All right, so you flat out saying no to Pittsburgh Paulie?
I mean, we could discuss it, but I'm leaning no.
Okay. All right. Frank's leading no. In the chat, yay or nay on Pittsburgh
There you go, Bird.
Paulie. You've given him too much airtime already. Okay, that's one theory.
That's one in the no column. There's
Mhm.
Christine Colson. No.
Got a no from Christine.
Yeah, I don't see much content coming out of him. Jeez.
For a big guy, he struggles to stay in the center of the frame.
DJ Shenanigans says nay. Mark, hells no.
Oh my god, I can't believe all the no's.
Mountaintops,
coming
def nah. Paul says yay. That's one.
through. Okay, see.
TD Freelancer, nay. Debbie, nope.
Oh, that was a nope. That's bigger than an A.
Yeah.
There's an exclamation point at the end of nope, even if you put one or not. Nope.
Nope.
Paul, I can't clock Paul. I don't know what he likes and what he doesn't like, which is what I like about him.
Dr. Dex says yes with 3
Okay.
S's.
See, some yeses
got
are
2.
coming around now. All right. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
I was going to ask him, and then I thought, let me ask you guys, because I feel like if I ask him, he's going to come on. He'll be like, this is great.
Never.
He's just looking for some attention there.
See, it says JSAB's tiebreaker, but according to the chat, it's a little one-sided. I don't see a tie here. It's a tie between you and me.
Yeah, but J. Sam's vote counts for 7. So
Oh, I see.
I should have mentioned that.
Damn.
A big nope for
Debbie.
a big guy.
Nope.
Ouch.
Yeah, I don't see. I don't see this. I don't see much coming from
Mountaintops writes classical, right, Paul? Paul was complaining about the quality of the classical music on Spotify earlier, and he's like, "Yeah, get this guy." See, he's unpredictable, Paul, which is what I like.
Yeah, an enigma.
Yeah, there's a freak show quality to him. I will agree, but it's more the confidence and like. Listen up, everybody. I've been thinking about this for a while, and the size of your penis is determined by who you're going to vote for in this election. Let me explain.
I got you. I feel like we've got all we can get out of him, though. That's my opinion.
You think that's it? He's a one trick. Like we've done it all. Like
we've seen the peak.
We didn't need him here to get all the laughs that we got during this segment.
Right. I don't know. I could be way off. I could be wrong, but I feel like we're not going to get much more. Could be I could be wrong. He could be a comedy genius, and I'm missing out.
What do you think about this? We leave him alone with J Sabs.
Right.
Because if you look at his videos, they're 9 to 20 seconds. J Sabs really sticks around for anywhere from 9 to 20 seconds on the podcast.
Right.
So what if we put them together? We let
and we just take ourselves off the screen and just let them just chat about whatever.
Or we don't show up at all. We just let J Sabs talk to Pittsburgh Paulie for 10 minutes and see what happens.
See, that I'm in for.
Because I'm not going to want to be on the screen with the both of them because I don't know what they're going to say.
I barely want to be on the screen now. No, I'm kidding. No, I don't know. It's up to you.
All right. I mean, I'm for what the people want.
Whatever.
I don't really know, but he fired back some lines quickly. The CPAP line wasn't his line, but I thought that was fucking hell. Whoever comes up with what's your CPAP settings, how fucking funny are you that's the first thing
it's messed up.
Like we do this for a living, and I looked at that in awe. I was like, my line sucks so hard compared to this guy's line.
Yeah, listen, I'm not making fun of the guy. No,
I don't want to make fun of his size.
I'm not making fun of the guy the way, for any other reason than him being a Trump supporter. That's the only way I'll make fun of him.
The fact that he's a Pittsburgh sports fan is open.
That's open. That's fair game.
Open. Yeah, there's a bunch of things there. Yeah. I do love the glasses, though. I would love to wear those glasses.
That's a style, man.
All right, comment. Let us know what you think about Pittsburgh Paulie. We're back with you guys on Wednesday, maybe with Pittsburgh Paulie, maybe not. Depends on how the rest of the comments go. And then, of course, Friday, we can expect another great game from Aaron, who's got a book right out.
Boom.
Now, link in the description below. Buy it, read it. You'll love it.
No meat, potato salad.
We love you.
Maybe we should go now. Go ahead.